Spécial bonjour pour tout le monde à toute la Dominique et aux Antilles, c'est un grand plaisir pour nous là encore, messieurs, mesdames, nous allons bienvenue Paul Sanction Créole, nous avons partagé information, code culture, tout ça, qui a fait à Dominique. Nous avons une spéciale émission aujourd'hui là, messieurs, nous allons parler créole, nous allons parler avec un monde qui déjà fait un pile bité pour culture là, messieurs, mesdames, qui adore slip sur tout ça. Et puis, il était à Belgique, maman mia, t'es toi grand artiste. Dominique, t'es là, qui dit nous quoi d'expérience là et puis tout ça. It gives us great pleasure to once again welcome you to another edition of Creole Heartbeat on the big station United 5 FM. By the way, we are presently celebrating 16 centenarians across the country, and the individuals are celebrating their birthdays this month. As a matter of fact, on the 3rd of September, that's earlier this week, Ayuna Nicholas celebrated 101 years, and she's from Miro. So we want to say belated birthday greetings to Ayuna Nicholas, celebrating 101. And she celebrated on the 3rd of September. And on the 10th of September, Josephine Pascal of Grand Fort will also be celebrating 101. So that's September 10th. On September 13th, Juliana Scotland of Roseau will also be celebrating 101 years. We want to wish them advanced birthday greetings. So that's Josephine Pascal on the 10th, Juliana Scotland on the 13th. Both will be celebrating 101 years. Then Josephine Wilshire, and she is presently residing at Pax, and she'll be celebrating 103 on September 24th. So we want to really congratulate and say happy birthday to our centenarians. By the way, we are in the month of the elderly, and we will be doing quite a bit of work with the elderly, the council on aging, and several of the other groups. Mais aujourd'hui, nous allons parler créole, nous allons parler de cadence slip, nous allons parler de tout ça, nous allons dire spécial bonjour pour t'inviter, nous là, messieurs, mesdames, nous allons moi excité pour interview là, ça, messieurs, mesdames. Good morning, Milia, ça va fait.
Bonjour, Alex, ça fait bonjour tout le monde qui a écouté Q bon matin là, mais c'est un plaisir pour moi, ça, invité à cette émission là, bon matin là, moi excité aussi, ça. Mais moi, Alex, qui, c'est mon là, qui tourne ensemble, en 3 hot 4 là, non, il a commencé à FG. Vous réalisez ça?
Oui. Parce que moi, j'ai quoi, moi, t'es trompé, moi, dit Josephine. Et puis, moi, t'as Josephine encore.
Avec Juliana.
Et puis, l'autre là, c'est Juliana.
Oui.
Et puis, l'autre là, c'est Ayuna.
Oui, man.
Et puis, Ayuna a célébré, et puis, il a célébré le 3, c'est mercredi. Et puis, nous avons félicité,
Oui, man, nous avons félicité. Happy birthday. Bon birthday pour vous toutes, hein?
Good morning to you, my friend. How are you?
Good morning, my friend. Bonjour. Eh bien, Mila parle créole, moi, je parle anglais.
Nous avons mélangé aujourd'hui là. And we have.
I'm good.
And we also have our producer this morning, Anthony, with us from.
What's the name?
Antoine.
Wow.
Anthony.
No, I figured it was a figure.
Yes.
Anthony, yes.
Anthony, on you. Milia, first of all, we have a special project, and
Yes.
the project is entitled
Creole for Business.
Creole for Business.
So maybe we can, because he said he was going to go straight into English, so we're going to invite him especially.
Pas de problème.
All right. So Creole for Business, of course, it is a program. It's a Creole course that Creole Heartbeat is offering within this month of September, starting the 16th. We are encouraging and inviting all. However, we would place a lot of focus on businesses, those who would have their own business, those who have businesses and have staff, whatever the case might be. But the focus is, of course, on business. So Creole for Business is an opportunity for business places, owners, workers, staff to, learn our beautiful Creole language and in turn make a contribution towards the continuous development of our nation. And in that way, you too, as a business place or even a staff member of a particular institution, you will have the opportunity, of course, to promote what it is that you're selling, be it a product, be it a service. You will have the opportunity to sell your business yourself in Creole, because we know we cater to a French market, and our location right now currently between, well, we cannot change location, never will, but we are currently between two beautiful Creole island, that is that of Guadeloupe to the north and Martinique to the south, and we've seen our products, go on this market like daily basically, but we are offering you the opportunity to not guaye anymore, not stumble anymore, not mamote anymore when it comes to promoting yourself, promoting your product and your service to our French or I should say our Creole comrades. So this is an opportunity again for our business people, be it you an entrepreneur, you have staff, or you yourself as a manager, you want to learn our beautiful language. It's an opportunity for you to join the course, which begins on September 16th to October 23rd, right in prime time here during our independence celebration, and as we go into the Creole week, because when it's Creole week, how some of us does guaye and fight a little bit, to speak the language. It's an opportunity for you to get you Creole ready for our independence celebration, and of course to take it further afield when it comes to promoting yourself and your product. And it gives you an opportunity, especially again as we enter into the independence, to market your product in Creole, because we know a lot of businesses tend to do that, but we want you to do it, but do it correctly, because Creole, it is standard. It's not something you just put out there and assume that it is Creole. There is Creole is standard, and we want to ensure that you get it right in time for the independence. So again, it's an invitation for everyone, but we want to, of course, send a special invitation to you in the various business places, and of course, if you have your own business. So the course will be on the Tuesdays and the Thursdays from 5 p.m. to 6:30 p.m., taking place at the Alliance Façade. So we're asking you to, if you could even call now and register, but if not, you can, of course, call telephone numbers 616-3457 or 317-0395. You could email creoleheartbeat@gmail.com. You could visit the Creole Heartbeat at the Creole Heartbeat office on the first floor of the Old Jays building that is on Kennedy Avenue. Also, you could visit creoleheartbeat.com/Creole-4-business to register. So it's only $300 registration, and the deadline is September 11th. So we're inviting you to take advantage, because you won't regret it. In fact, you would have even maybe just pinch yourself and say, why didn't I do this earlier in life? Why didn't I try harder to learn this beautiful language? You will see and you will experience how far Creole can take you. It's something just beautiful when you can communicate in Creole and someone can respond in Creole. I realize our good friend is having a little bit of a shiver, but but it's a beautiful thing, I tell you, when you can communicate, and you can give yourself that credit. Usabako vogue, you can boast when you can speak Creole, because you won't be left out when we always have an influx of French people coming, not just for festival or the independence celebration, but throughout summer and all through the year, in fact. And you will find yourself again the moment you can communicate in our beautiful language. And like I said earlier, you will too be making a contribution to the preservation, and that will help too. Yes, we want you to be able to promote your business, market yourself in Creole, but you will get an opportunity to ensure the continuation of our beautiful language that is Creole. So again, join us, register for this course. It is again in September, beginning September 6th to October 23rd. Yes?
In terms of individuals that may have a challenge with the language and may be interested in actually utilizing your services of Creole for Business to learn the language itself, these people are welcome or invited.
Yes, they are. So, like I said, yes, we want you in the business places to take advantage of this. But if you are not, you don't have a business, it's okay. You want to learn Creole? Tamure, we want you to. So you will have the opportunity to join, to register, and if you are not able, the classes will be both face to face and online. So if you may be in the diaspora, for example, and you're planning to come to Dominica for this independence, and you want to be able to catch up with how we communicate during that season, you can take the opportunity to register, and you can participate and join classes online. So no matter who you are interested in our beautiful language, you can get that opportunity right now to do so.
Okay, let's move across and say good morning to Ibrahim Bruhim. And how are you, my friend?
Yes, good morning, Alex. I'm good, and in comparison to earlier, where showers will come in and go in.
That's blessings, man.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
But
blessings.
it's just the way it rains,
Yeah.
It's like this morning I left my office, bright sunlight. I reached the port, a heavy downpour. I reached Kenfield Bank, bright sunlight. Very funny.
That's Dominica for you, the tropical paradise. Creole for business, what you have heard so far, what are your impressions as we try to, first of all, one, sensitize people how important the language is, two, give them an opportunity that when our visitors from Guadeloupe, Martinique, and we don't like to say French because they don't like to be called French, when our Creole visitors from Martinique, Guadeloupe, St. Lucia, Haiti, we have a Haitian population here, we can communicate with them, that they are ready, and in terms of Creole, ready for the influx of visitors that will be coming in for the World Creole Music Festival. And there's also a part two where we intend to work with Dexia and Discover Dominica Authority to have trade shows. So we're taking the products from Dominica to bring it across to Guadeloupe and allow our normal and small businesses to actually get an opportunity with the influx of people, the added population, the added consumer power in Guadeloupe and Martinique to see how feasible it could be for our products in the French Antilles.
Well, Alex, nothing more can be said that it's important to know the language and to be able to communicate. I'll give you one example. The reason why we need to be able to communicate with our visitors from overseas, Martinique, Guadeloupe, St. Lucia, where they speak Creole very strongly, especially St. Lucia. It's important for us to know that because I'll give you an example. In my recent trips overseas, coming out from Belgium, coming out from Holland, they in turn learn the English to communicate with us.
Exactly.
And they speak English fluently, very good. I was really, for my first trip to Holland, to Belgium, I was amazed at the level of the English language that is spoken. And then even making a comparison to my land of birth, Lebanon, in the Middle East, they also teach the students English in school. So it's because they anticipate visitors to be coming into their country.
It gives a country a competitive edge.
Definitely.
And like Mila said a while ago, we are in the middle of two Creole countries. Not even two, not three. St. Lucia just across us there.
Definitely.
And it's very important to be able to communicate.
And it makes you feel comfortable visiting the country.
Absolutely.
Because you just imagine, I'm in a country, Holland, for the first time. They speak Dutch. Let's say they speak Dutch only. I'm lost.
I'm going to play something. I hope it can come out clear enough so our listeners can listen. But here is Wyclef Jean.
We all are getting to hear more of it. And what I'm most excited about with the Creole is the unification of the islands. So it's like if you come from like Dominica, and I come from Haiti, you come from Martinique, or you come from Guadeloupe. Now it's sort of like I know a little bit of your Creole, like So if people from I think Martinique probably watching this, Sakamache, Sakamache, like this can work, And then in Haiti they have their version. But at the end of the day, what's amazing is the general phonetics are basically the same. Which you have to think how strong these African people are. Because look, like we're in an era now. So for someone from Dominica or St. Lucia or different places to speak to me and for me to understand their Creole, do you understand how hard our ancestors had to fight as a whole to make sure that there's still a language that could come out of our mouth that we can translate as a whole, because when you want to destroy a tribe, first thing you do is you destroy their culture. You take away their name, you take away their language. You know what I
And
mean? Yeah.
just sort of going further with what Wyclef is saying, it's an identity. And I am not sure why are we still, on the verge. We keep talking about it. We keep, having the discussions over and over, but we are not making the positive steps towards getting it together. St. Lucia, for one, has actually given credence to the language where it is now a national language. It is nationally spoken, it's accepted, legislated, and then they also have their official language, which is English. And we are posing as the Creole capital, not only of the Caribbean, but of the world, but yet still the language which is the link. Like Wycliffe said to our ancestors, we are still hesitant to actually making the bold steps and presenting a policy. We have several of the major influencers. Keck is there, the unofficial authority on the language is there. Quite a bit of linguists are around. Gordon Henderson, these guys are around. Gregory Rabe, Sonia Parlington, James. We have those with us still. So then, whatever move we should be making it now. And when you think of even the World Creole Music Festival, like I was speaking to Marvel earlier on, that was part of the movement. Gordon Henderson said if one of the biggest, let's say, failures of the festival is no, we should be speaking more Creole. Because by the time we started, we had the federation with all the various Creole bodies and countries together, but we didn't continue it. Before we go into Brohim and Brohim story with how important Creole music is, the language. It's an identity. Merely how important it is for us at this point in time to embrace the language, to really make sure our generations to come will be able to speak it, will be able to communicate with it. How important is this?
What well, I don't think
A call already? Let's take the call and then we'll come back to Millian Ibrahim Bruhim. A business without a sign is a sign of no business. Good morning to you, Creole Heartbeat.
Hey, Wadik.
Good morning to you, sir.
Jude Dorset.
Hey, Jude, what's up, my friend?
Yeah, I want to sign up for the class. I was trying to get you yesterday when you came at the printery.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, so put my name down.
Okay, Jude Dorset, Millian. Jude Dorset, no problem. You want to give us your telephone number so we can contact you after?
614-9035.
614-9035. 614.
When I start music?
Next week, no, it was when's the exact date?
16th.
The exact date of commencement is the 16th of September to the 23rd of October. It's a 6-week course.
Let's take the number again.
Okay.
So let's give us the number again, Judd.
614-9035.
Okay, Judd. Thank you very much, sir.
Yes.
And keep the calls coming and keep the interest rolling. We have to really take this thing by the bull and move with it if we need our future generations to continue to embrace the language and feel the importance of the language. So we were discussing the importance of the language for us as a people and as identity. And not even that, we claim and we both just say we are the Creole capital of the world.
I mean, in any language, it is important. First of all, it allows us to communicate, but communicating what exactly? So with Creole, we have the tendency to say, which I believe, and I'm sure you too believe, that Creole is unique in every sense of the word, and it is bold, it is frank, it is honest, and if you have a beautiful language such as Creole that gives you an opportunity to communicate honestly, to communicate frankly, to communicate boldly, why not embrace it? Just imagine you are able to communicate your emotions, your sentiments, your feelings, everything in Creole. It is just different as opposed to how we do in English. And I always say, if Shakespeare spoke Creole, wow. Just imagine how we embrace literature, and that's in English. Just imagine if that was in Creole, the effect that would have on the world. It is important for us to, again, be able to communicate. Because with English, you have to censor certain things, and you have to, put things at a minor. But with Creole, there is nothing of such. And Wycliffe spoke about, our ancestors, and we too, the Creole allows us to embrace the struggles of our ancestors, what they had to do, because the Creole is what allowed them. That was a link to, of course, they being liberated. And this is something that we need to embrace. And if we embrace Creole, we are embracing that aspect of our history.
Yes, Ibrahim, I'm not sure if you want to add before we kind of head to you.
Well, I mean, to me, it's elementary.
Mhm.
Creole, while I'm not a fluent speaker of Creole,
That will
But-
change.
but yeah, I hope to, and I think I will. I'm endorsing that program 101%, and I'm going to try and find the time definitely myself. But I think Creole should be taught in the schools.
Absolutely.
I'll give an example why I say that in terms of the young or generation today learning to speak the language and learning to speak it properly. When my parents migrated to Dominica, I remember my mother clearly telling us, you all are going to go to school and you all will learn English in school. But the Arabic language that we speak from our homeland, we are going to speak that only at home. And that's how I learned our language. My parents only speaking to us in our language, and I learned English at school.
Cool.
And I believe it's the same thing that should happen down here, in Dominica. Parents should not be afraid to speak to their young ones, even if it's the few words slowly. Let them pick up basics. Let them pick up basics, and really, because you never know where you're going to land tomorrow. You might have to migrate to France, Guadeloupe, Martinique, Saint Lucia, whatever, or a Creole-speaking country, and when you reach there, you're lost.
Ibrahim, I just continue to emphasize over and over, and I'm not sure if we are possibly not understanding what this means. We have 70 or less thousand people in Dominica. Immediately around us is a million. We don't have consumer power. Here is our consumer power. And not only that, we have a history, we have a cultural link. We were there for the French after the Second World War. We were there for Guadeloupeans and Martinicans when Montpellier erupted. So there's a connection. They attend our World Creole Music Festival like it is their festival because it was sold to them as one festival. It's our festival just taking place in Dominica. So, I mean, this is so easy to understand the importance, the value of just reaching out to each other, to communicate with each other, and to have that link, to continue that legacy of which was, something that was actually fought for, because the enslaved were taken from the African continent and they intentionally displaced them, put them all over so that they could not communicate. And they created a language, like Wycliffe said, to be able to communicate, which was Creole.
Yeah, Creole.
You recently did something I really want to applaud publicly. And it's because of your passion and love. We'll get into that a little more, but then I want to emphasize how important it is. Midnight Groovers has been playing for over 50 years. And this year is the Jubilee year, very special year. They are part of the lineup, and you decide to assist them in your way as the sign man, as Ibrahim normally do, to give them something tangible that they can prepare for that particular performance, because to you it's a memorable occasion. Tell us about that particular gesture.
Yes, Wadix. I remember when I was on my trip overseas in Belgium, I listened to your program with Chubby and his brother Co. And I mean, I've known them for years, but then again, it still came across in a way that, to me, they're still struggling to find their feet in Dominica, in terms of being not popularized as kings and whatever it is, but to be just appreciated for the work that they have done for Dominica, and especially we speak about culture, the music part, which I'll come back to in a while. And so I figured right away, I sent a message across to you and said, no, I want to do something. It's not anything tremendous, but it's something that will assist them in their preparations for the show, because 25 in 25 is a big show. And I just want to see myself being able to assist. And I saw them, I looked at who can I? And I looked at them. I followed them for many years, as you rightfully know. We've worked a lot together ourselves, can't take nothing away from you also. And I just figured, I had to do something to allow them to prepare. Because sometimes you ask yourself, boy, I need to do X, Y, Z. And sometimes budgeting is not there right away. And so I decided to do this gesture.
How much was the donation in terms of value?
Not something I like, but anyway, it doesn't matter. We donated a check of $3,000 EC dollars to them, and I know that it will help a long way. As Renault, the manager, when he did the handover, spoke about it, and I know the feeling. I know, with certain persons and groups, that they strive to do their best, but sometimes you need that little kick, you need that little push. And although some persons came back, but
because
chopping them don't need that.
Because normally, no. Normally, what happens is whatever fee that they charge the World Creole Music Festival, everything comes within it.
Yeah,
transportation, per diem, the fee yourself to play, plus uniforms, outfits, whatever they have to do. But by at least giving them a donation, which could go towards part of their preparation.
Yeah, some of it, yeah.
Yes.
And it's up to them to use it how they want to use it.
And this was on the heels of a billboard that we collaboratively installed in Lale.
Yes.
I think it was last year before, of the Midnight Groovers,
Definitely.
which they are really proud of. Whenever you reach at the top of Lale, you'll see a billboard of the Midnight Groovers. So once again, the continuation is not a one-off.
It's not, no.
Yes. And besides that, we also went and did the billboards of both Co and Chubby, which were actually placed at the Bayfront,
Yes.
which, as a matter of fact, just this morning, I had discussions with Marva. They will be securing a special place for the billboards this year at the World Creole Music
Yeah,
Festival.
because I saw it fit, that while the billboards are down, there can be a use for them, and I spoke to you about that,
Yes. But then in our discussions this morning, she actually going to identify a place, not just for it to just be in the stadium.
No, definitely.
It is going to be a place where people can come and take photographs.
Yeah, it can be
It will be
really
a place,
in view.
yes, in the view, and an area where people can come and get memories. Some of the fallen legends of Cadaslips music, and take some up, because some of the legends are performing. Gordon is performing.
Yeah, definitely.
Mikael is performing. Ophelia is performing. Harley Butt is also performing. Linford John
Yeah.
is also performing, and all these legends, their portraits were part of the entire project, and it is confirmed that these particular billboards will be on showcase at the World Creole Music Festival. Gordon, we call Gordon.
Yes.
Gordon,
Yeah, we called him, yes. Yeah,
right. But Milia, let's get back. We'll get back to Romina.
But I just want to say one thing.
Mhm. Yeah. Go ahead.
Regarding the Creole, I attribute Kadas music to my learning and understanding the Creole language.
So you
Because
use
it used to come in
the
song.
You use the language. You use the
song.
language in the song, and learn Creole.
I used to sing because for some reason I just got stuck to Kadas music when it came out.
Yeah.
Okay, I got drawn to it. And I used to sing it because I spoke more French back then than Creole. And
really breaking ground. That's why we have to be able to appreciate the sacrifices. If a band like Assav who could sing their songs in French in any language they want, but they decide to intentionally. When you look at the whole catalog of Kadaslips, so primarily a lot of these guys, they use the language again. It was the
to get their messages across.
to get their messages across. The use of proverbs, the use of popular phrases. And not only the sentiments were different, they spoke about the 70s, which was a very turbulent time, back to Africa, there's love, there's so many different sentiments in Creole.
In Creole, and
in our
messages that are
Kadaslips
very
music.
strong today.
Yes.
Messages which can really stand today.
Absolutely. Let's get back to the Creole.
Of course,
Yes, the Creole. Because Milia, this is so important, and it is very critical at this juncture that we decide on that initiative. And we want to really appeal to the businesses in particular, because it's an opportunity for the businesses to get themselves at least Creole ready, to get themselves ready to be able to serve the Creole population, and interaction that will be taking place in the next month or so. So let's really speak to the mercantile community, Amelia.
Uh, again, you see, Creole is a way of life. And we have already, well, I'm not here to criticize, but I'm saying, of course, in everything you can always do better. But we've already shown appreciation for the food. We've already shown appreciation for the attire, for the Creole wear. But like what I would have said, because the language in itself is a bridge, and we need to link that language with the food and our.
Can we take a
Yes, we
call?
can. Yes.
Okay, let's take another call. Someone want to actually interact with us. Good morning to you, Creole Heartbeat. Good morning.
Eh, Ronnie,
Zaga Fed frère.
mon il a dit bonjour, oui, mais c'est pas comment il a dit bonjour. Non, maintenant, voilà, mon il a dit, aïe, d'aller, nous, ça va pas prendre.
Eh ben, frère,
Anyway,
Uh-huh.
je vais te prendre bénédiction, mais ma qui est pour dire du fleur, oui, là. Lancement, pas qu'on voit, mais qu'à ce que tout le monde est réveil. Avant que on doit aller.
merci. Eh ben, ça c'est pour Amelia.
Merci, blessings là. Merci. So we just want to make we just want to be well rounded. Again, we've already embraced the food, the whole idea of our dress. Also, although I don't believe we
No,
should
but
wait, we should wait.
the strange thing, we use Creole when we need to say certain things.
Mhm.
And we even when we
Selective.
speak selective, even when we speak our normal Creole.
Mhm.
Gasa, I go, but we using Creole.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
Gasa, you don't see the motorcar. The
Yeah.
motorcar.
Yes.
That's that decale. You know what I'm saying? So we speak in the Creole,
Yes,
even
yes,
unconsciously.
Yes.
Unconsciously to describe certain events,
Mhm.
but then it gives the same story that you're trying to, or narration that you're trying to narrative that you're trying to give more flavor.
Yes.
It gives us a more boom. You understand? That's it. But we use it
and a
selectively.
better understanding too, especially like you just mentioned in terms of description. Because if you had to say the vehicle, okay, but probably a vehicle went down a precipice, how would you say that?
What sounds better? Boy, the vehicle décalé. But then the emphasis is gaso.
Yes.
You know,
No, but the décalé itself is a strong word.
Yeah.
It's a strong
But
word.
just talk-
But you want to that you want to décalé in you would say write up, right?
Yes.
You would say write up, and that's just so subtle. But when you say décalé, you get an immediate
You know-
picture as to it décalé.
Right off is okay.
Yeah.
it doesn't sound.
No. But
But in
again,
Creole-
that is why the Creole is so out there to open it so frank.
That's why I
Yes.
drive in going about my business. I'm saying there's boo. That's what I'm back. And we use it selectively and sometimes
Yes,
even
yes,
unconsciously
yes.
in our normal English Creole, our normal English Creole. And by the way, we mustn't forget that we have the Afuawe side of it too.
Yes.
That we also have to give the big up to the people in Marigot, in Wesley, Simit.
Yes.
That special area. We have to give you a big up. One of those days we'll invite you here to give us the whole history behind the language. Why is a particular area from Dominica, I think Cottage also, that speak the Afuawe. The Afuawe, I think that's the language.
Afuawe, yes.
That's the language. But brother, we have been a collective of Kadas Lips and Music for several years. The years of passion. What about Kadas Lips and Music? Because you also listen to all types of music. What about Kadas Lips and Music in particular that resonates with you over any other genre?
Well, I mean, first of all, it's our music. It's our music that originated from Dominica. And I mean, as I said,
But there are other music other genres resonate from Dominica
Yes.
that don't resonate with you the same way. We're not going to call names.
no. I'm a very clear person, I have nothing, I'm not targeting anything whatsoever, but I'm just attributing that one of the most important things that Kadas music is our music.
Yeah.
And one thing with me, I've learned over the years is that I love supporting something good locally, and in following the music, it like I said, has taught me to understand the language better, for one, most importantly, and it has, also it has historical events in it. Like, Exile One song, Chuyo, talking about the French coming across, and
After the Second World War.
the Second World War, So these are things I didn't know.
Yeah.
And history does not teach you that. But
Yeah.
I learned that through
History in school in Dominica.
History in school in Dominica don't teach you that, So it's something. And then music, what I also enjoy about it, it's not a beat where it is just doom, 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 doom.
Different moods, different attitudes.
You have different moods, different
sentiments.
Yes, different sentiments. So it's a music also that you can play anywhere
at any time
for any age.
Just try to imagine songs were made 50 years ago.
Yeah.
50 years ago, and yet still they can resonate with you. And I mean, that's what you call a tube. When 50, that's why it is difficult for Dominicans to get into a new type of cadas,
Yeah.
Because this sounds continue to, yes, let's go to the telephone again. Good morning to you, Creole Heartbeat. Good morning to you, Creole Heartbeat.
Morning tout le monde, morning family.
Zagafet.
Morning.
Bien. Man, ya moun la, moi me yo sa si way, ya pardonne moi si way ki mo di poche way.
Ay, okay. Baka ki no, baka di ay, ou ka we pas ke we pas milia.
Bonjour.
Okay, family. But that's good. That's good. We'll interacting. As a matter of fact, the lines are open and we'll interact in some Creole. In a while, will express itself in the language. But then, Ilya, it is critical to understand for this particular project. It is a movement. It's a movement. Why people they may be able to understand, but they refuse to try to speak.
Yes.
They're reluctant.
They're reluctant to try to make mistakes.
I think it's a fear of making an error, but there is no being wrong in Creole. And the reason for that is because you would know, if you know the Creole itself and the history, many English words were adopted in the language.
Yes.
So, I mean, we are not asking you to Creolize every single English word, but there is no error. You will try a first time, the second time you'll be corrected, and then you will get it right the second time.
Yeah.
But people, what I find, especially when I speak to people, I do interviews or I call for a particular reason and I want to talk to you in Creole. Oh, I'm afraid I don't know what to say. That's one thing. Secondly, what is like, I might go back to my English. It's okay. It's okay. It's just a matter of taking that first step. And I'm telling you, the moment you take that first step, you will not turn back.
Yeah.
It will become habitual. And you will love it. You will love the experience that it brings. Let me tell you, nothing gives you more pride when you can communicate in Creole. Now, just imagine tomorrow there's an excursion to go to Guadeloupe or Martinique, for example. You understand? Because right now you can communicate. Someone is coming here asking you in the middle of town for direction. Hey, I'm Akashishi au magasin Cavan Linge.
Yeah.
You will be able to respond. You will not hold your mouth and say, what you say? You understand? So it gives you an opportunity to just get there. And again, I still want to emphasize on the fact that not only you'll be learning the language, but you will be able to make a valid contribution in the preservation of the language. We do not want it to die. We want it to continue. And you learning will make the contribution towards the continuation of...
More calls coming in. Good morning to you, Creole Heartbeat. Bonjour.
Bonjour, Radik.
Zagavet, mola ka chebe, zagato.
Mola ka kari, kumala di kari.
Okay.
Mola di doyen. So,
Where?
mo commencé à hablar.
Habla, so you payol mo fue.
Spanish in me too. Now, Spanish very little German. I'm trying to do well. You look it up all. So when my grandmother used to come at my mother's home in the early 70s, and they would speak Creole. I would be sitting down and watching them talk, and I'd be sucking that like a sponge.
Yeah.
And I was basically, out of 6 of us, I was the first one to start speaking Creole.
Yeah.
Okay?
Mm.
Now I went to, government sent me to the United States to learn to make something at some point. And at one point we went to a bar in the complex. And as I reached, I was in front, as I reached inside, I heard the people there speaking English. And right away, they start speaking Spanish. So I turned back to I turned back to the guys behind me and tell them, "Say you can no pasa parler langage you pass." And as I said that, instantaneously they started speaking English.
English again. Yes, yes, yes.
Did not know Creole to that extent. These people may be saying all sorts of things on it. I did use a few colorful words. You know, yeah. So let's continue.
Yeah, man. Thanks a lot, my friend, for your contribution. So once again, Milia, it will be Tuesdays and
Yes,
Thursdays. Just give them some
so
fundamentals
again,
about
the course will begin on September 16th
Mhm.
up until the 23rd, right in the prime of Creole Week. And it will be on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 5 to 6:30 p.m. That'll be at the Alliance Française de la Dominique, or you'll get an opportunity if you prefer to do it online. However, we still want to encourage you to participate face to face. So you can, of course, register for $300. And the deadline for registration is next Thursday, that is the 11th of September. You can call 616-3457 317-0395 or email creoleheartbeat@gmail.com. You can also visit, if you are in town, visit the Creole Heartbeat office. That is the second floor of the old Jay's building on Kennedy Avenue. So register today.
Okay, I'm going to give you and Brohim and also Anthony, come Anthony, a chance. Come, put on your mic and put on your headphone. I'm going to get you involved. So you are going to interact with the two of them, Milia, in Creole, and they don't know Creole.
They don't know.
They don't know Creole. Oh, they know a little here and there.
Okay.
So there are two students in your class.
Okay, all right. Écoutez-moi dit bonjour. Good morning. Comment vous êtes?
Voilà.
Oula. Ou bien?
Oui.
Brohim, comment vous êtes?
Moi là, mon corps tu fort.
Ok,
All
continuez.
Comment vous senti quoi? Ouais, ben, comment vous passez swell?
Ok,
Il était bon.
C'était bon.
il était bon. Brohim, comment vous passez ça?
C'était plus meilleur, moi dormi très bien.
Non,
Ok,
mais
vous
bien.
dormez
Mais
très
qui ça vous a fait à Madame
Anthony.
Anthony quand travaille? Qui ça qui travaille?
Well, moi j'ai allé à l'école, moi j'ai allé à l'université West Indies.
Ok. Qui ça vous a étudié?
Paralegals.
Paralegal studies.
Ok.
Mhm.
Ça c'est bagaille loi.
Oui.
Ok. Ou même loi?
Oui.
Ah, ok. Ou les vignes avocat?
Oui.
Ok. Mr. Ibrahim, qui ça au café quand travaille? Qui ça qui travaille?
Travail, moi, c'est pour faire les signes. Moi, c'est le chef de le Signman Limited.
Mhm.
Et puis, moi, j'ai fait ça pour 24 ans.
24 années. Ok.
Une année.
Et fait, moi, quand imaginer, ça c'est quelque chose que vous aimez?
Ah, beaucoup.
Vous aimez ça? En
C'est
pile?
ça. En pile parce que
Vous aimez ça en pile.
il a fait moi sentir bien parce que c'est possible pour moi pour d'autres monde travail.
Ok. Vous avez créé employment?
Oui, c'est ça.
Ok. Anthony,
Especially avec les jeunes personnes.
all right. Anthony, pour qui vous décidez c'est paralegal ou les étudier?
Il y a raison de parler côte.
Il y a raison pour les mentionner. Ok.
Oh, il y a raison pas les mentionner.
Ok.
Ça, c'est habité
Personnellement. Mais il y a quelque chose qui encourage vous
Oui.
pour faire ça.
Ma tête, non.
Mhm.
Maintenant, c'est avocat.
Oui.
Ah, ok.
Ok, d'accord.
Avec-
So, il influencer pour aller faire loi aussi, avocat aussi.
Peut-être.
Peut-être.
Quelque chose comme ça.
Question est comme ça. Ok.
All right. Mais dis-moi un petit peu contre Creole. Qui ça ou quoi contre langage là?
Well, ici au Bomité.
Eh bien, on a appris.
Ma maman et papa mort.
Ok.
Des beaux dans mort, c'est grand B. Papa mort, et puis maman mort, et puis papa mort. Et pas dire moi. Papa moi, c'est mort. Des beaux dans mort, c'est grand B. Et ça belle à différentes sections Dominique, Creole, yo, anti gens différents. En sud, il y a Kassam, Martinique, Tibouin,
Mhm.
mais en nord, Kassam, Guadeloupe.
Ça, c'est cousine moi qui là.
Masa, tout le monde c'est cousine li.
Non, il c'est cousine moi.
Tout le monde c'est cousine
Qui non
li.
maman Antoine?
Tio.
Mhm.
Eh ben, Val Coffee, c'est cousine. Quand ça me dit, oui, qui va cousin, moi, papa, on l'est bon, non. Moi, on l'est bon.
Eh ben, papa, ou c'est Anthony.
Anthony Thompson.
Eh ben,
Ben, ou
Anthony,
connaissez.
c'est Nivé, maman, moi.
Il dit
Comme ça, papa, il c'est mon oncle, moi.
Well, il
Comme
dit
ça,
moi
c'est ou c'est cousine, moi.
Eh ben, ma commencé quoi, maman?
All right, ma coumé, c'est grand-maman. Ma coumé,
Eh ben, c'est famille même.
Ok.
C'est famille même. Mais ce qui est important, c'est nous qui essayé de faire certains, nous ouvrir en chimère.
Oui.
En chimère pour nous découvrir importance créole là, langage là même. Et si vous avez des difficultés pour parler, si vous voulez parler, si c'est l'autre temps où vous avez essayé de parler, eh bien, après, on a une chance. Une opportunité. Et puis, nous avons dit toute information là à créole, à composant, messieurs, mesdames. Et si vous passez à venir alias française, vous avez sur Internet.
Yes.
Vous avez Zoom.
Zoom.
C'est pas Zoom, c'est Zoom.
Pour ça, messieurs, mesdames, nous commandons encore pour ça, si on mettait ou qu'à comprendre le langage là, mais ou les communiquer en langage là, nous avons opportunité pour ça apprendre. Et puis en course, eh ben, en programme pour ça apprendre, à registration c'est $300. Et vers finissement, registration ça là, c'est le 11 en mois à septembre, ça c'est jeudi prochain. Et vers toutes les classes là qui prennent place 2 fois par semaine, les mardis et les jeudis à Saint-Cher pour 6h30 encore à Alliance Française. Mais si par exemple, ou peut-être que c'est tout loin Rozo, et vers où tu attendez classe là, ou ça fait ça aussi à sous Zoom. Depuis enregistrer ou qui dit nous qui ça intérieur, qui c'est face à face, eh ben si c'est à sous Zoom ou qu'il y a une opportunité pour ça faire ça, mais nous Léo encore pour opportunité pour ça apprendre langage là, pour ça ni habilité là pour communiquer. Encore c'est $300 pour enregistrer. Finissement registration c'est le 11 en mois septembre, c'est jeudi prochain. Comme ça qui est numéro 616 34 57, eh ben 317 03 95 ou ça email creoleheartbeat@gmail.com. Sinon ça visiter l'office là même, ça c'est upstairs là j'étais avant, ou ça vient pas J's là,
Ça c'est bureau ambassadeur point Swadix.
Ah, ça c'est
Le bureau, il va monter bureau là pour faire des affaires moins.
OK, ça c'est bureau ambassadeur Wix.
Nous d'accord pour nous
Pas
faire
oublier,
inviter
monsieur.
Creole Heartbeat
Yes,
aussi,
yes.
c'est important, il y a une chance pour faire ça. Nous avons une petite place pour nous rendez-vous et puis faire
All right.
le travail là nous avons fait. Eh bien bon, Roem, nous avons parlé Creole. Ou ça répond en anglais. Ou t'es Belgique.
Yes.
Ou t'es Belgique. This man
Mo where you are?
so
Si mo de gas review, mo where you?
so
Mo
spectacular life.
mo de gaga mo where le calendar sin présenter, mo where le calendar présenter, mo where ite ni doit pour dom ni
Vous
pas
c'était
tout.
moi?
Si c'était ou. Et
No,
pas
but
de
then, I mean,
moi.
this is a real phenomenal situation where two of our female artists went across to Belgium, and Broim found the time to actually accompany them. Tell us about the experience.
Wadix, it was a wonderful, I mean, words cannot really explain how I felt and what I learned and saw. But as you said, I decided to take that trip and try to get a few of my friends along. But hopefully, like Wadix, like Dr. Dublin.
It was a plan. It was planned, but then
Yeah, I know. But you know, we had done it earlier this year. We went to Martinique. Right, and that's where we decided we were going to do something.
Yes.
But anyway, going forward, you know, I got in touch with Junior Del Sol, with Cornell, letting them know I'm on my way with them, you know. And I got information from the organizers, the hotel, everything. And I thought we were going to be in the same hotel because they recommended the hotel to us. And the hotel is actually in Holland, on the border of Belgium, because where the feast was being held, the show, it's like take the gardens, you know, very huge. And so we just drove across the border. And what was nice about it was that when Cornell reached at his hotel, at my hotel, we contacted each other. He asked me, well, where are you? I said, well, I'm at this hotel. He said, send me the address, let me see. Only to find out we were just about 5 minutes away from each other by vehicle. So the shows, I came down especially because the show really started Thursday. But Thursday wasn't of importance to me. So I came in for Friday night, Saturday night, and then I stayed a few days after for reasons. And then Cornell said, but bro, why don't you just come across and meet us? Because I had my tickets. I was given complimentary tickets by both Cornell and Junior, you know. So I would be entering a normal entrance. But when he told me to come in by him, what I did, I joined them. I just took us Uber taxi, went across by them, and by 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, we drove across, entered backstage. And I would think, I say, shit, gosh, I'm not a member of the band. What's going to happen? Wadix, I walked in, I just got my armband, and they never asked a question. These people, they had that professionalism idea. And then I really got a full view of how the show was operated and how things went. And we went, while we prepared for Mikel the Friday and then Carlin Saturday.
How was Mikel's performance in Friday?
Oh, it was tremendous. It was beautiful. I mean, the crowd, the persons really accepted the music and they sang along with her. And it was really tremendous.
I mean, tell us about Kadas. Mikel primarily sing Kadas Lipso.
She had to sing only Kadas music.
Kadas
That's what the organizers told them.
Only Kadas,
only Kadas music.
And then to basically a mixed audience or
yeah, there was a mixed audience, from Europe. There were people from Curacao or Aruba, because I think there were one or two persons from that area singing. And the bands, there were bands from Martinique, there were bands from Africa, there were bands from Europe, they were from the West Indies. Besides Dominica, they were from Trinidad. And it was a real mix of music. And the music that was there in that show that I saw was strictly a mix of West Indian music, a lot of it. Yeah, there were bands that played some, little salsa and, different whatever it is. But there was strictly a lot of West Indian music. And the crowd, as I said...
Santo Domingo is in the Caribbean,
Yes, Santo Domingo.
Cuba is in the Caribbean.
Yeah, but no, I don't think there were bands from Cuba.
From Cuba in particular.
Or I think maybe
Santo Domingo.
I'm not...
But we're more interested in Mikel's performance.
But it's more, yeah, exactly. That's what I was waiting to see the people, While they performed in the secondary stage, not the grand stage, because there's a grand stage which is about maybe even twice the size of the stage they performed, And I mean, the crowd really took to her. She really spoke to them in Creole also at times. And I mean, the music itself, the accompaniment was first class, and she really brought the house down with her music.
And I mean, the people were happy, were dancing, were having a good time.
They were jumping, dancing.
She was able to connect.
And she was able to connect with them, The music was able, even if some of them did not understand.
May understand what the language of the music.
Because remember, it's Creole.
It's Creole, yes.
And not really French.
Yes.
Because sometimes persons who speak French can't speak the Creole.
Yes.
But
that is why the Creole was created. But this is why the Creole was created.
Yes.
So that the Frenchman would not understand.
Right. So it was really, her performance went down good, And I, for one, I mean, I was there with my flag. I dressed with my attire, and persons were actually encouraging me to put that flag up and where you from. And, when you let them know, I'm from Dominica. First thing to come to the mind, Dominica. No. Look, my few days at that show and in Holland, I had history lessons being given.
Yeah. You had to give
history lessons. And some persons knew where Dominica was. They knew the difference. And some persons after they said that, boy, is a place. And when I was showing them pictures of my hiking trips, and they did the nature, they went mad.
Yes.
So
what about the Saturday night?
The Saturday night it came down like a rocket on them.
Yeah.
Carlin really performed. She gave them from the first song to the last song, the crowd was on their toes. And she brought out that powder on them.
She had a powder session.
And that went tremendous. She really came down, she performed the music. Again, the crowd was on their feet. If you're seeing the videos,
I saw the videos.
You can tell that the crowd appreciated her, what she gave, her performance. I think it's the first time she went.
I think the second time. I think the second time for both of them.
For both of them, right? But it was a very long space, a long time. So again, obviously, we would probably have a new generation of persons coming to follow. And it's amazing, Wadix, the crowd at that show for the both nights. I mean, it was in the tens of thousands.
Wow.
Tens of thousands.
Yeah.
Because you had about probably 4 stages.
Yeah.
And it was so coordinated that as one stage performer is going down, ending the show, another stage is performing, starting up.
Yeah.
So the crowd was just moving from one stage to the other.
Wow.
And then also the coordination of perfection of time management.
Time is time.
Man, what I saw was just because, like I said, I was backstage with the stage manager. And if you have to start your show at 8 o'clock, you perform at 8 o'clock, you are there 15, 20, half an hour before. And as the band finishes, you're pushed on stage one time. Prepare, set up, take a quick check, whatever it is. Nothing like a whole half hour, 45-minute song check. You have probably about 5-10 minutes. And then as the stage manager tells you, okay, you're on, you are on. And when you see your time comes to finish, you are finished. And let me give you an example of use of time. There was a Trinidadian individual who was singing, and I suspected he stopped before his time. And the stage management were at him to push him back.
To continue to play.
Because that is your time, that is our time, that is what we're set for. We're not cutting you off before your time.
But when your time reach,
you program yourself for the hour.
Gordon Henderson was also part of was part backstage with you guys.
Was that
Gordon Henderson?
Yes, Gordon joined us with his wife. And again, I was a tremendous, just being in the presence of Gordon, and he himself got, first-hand views and appreciated and sang along with us, and, jumped along and had good fun. So
Dominica was fully represented.
Dominica was represented.
You got a chance to speak to the promoter, because I think Gordon was going to connect.
We spoke with him, and he explained to us, and his son came along to talk, and he said that the show is organized between himself and his son. He does. How would I put it?
He normally comes to Dominica.
He comes to
during the World Creole Music Festival and select which band,
anybody good enough to take up. And he's explained to us, telling us that he looks at artists at a higher, I wouldn't say older level or whatever, but musically mature. And his son looks out for people for
younger generation.
But at the end of the day, they both sit down, and whatever both select, they work it out together.
And the beautiful thing is both Dominican genres were on showcase at that special festival.
Oh, definitely.
So the dance Calypso, and then Colin would have sung
Bouillon. And that's what she sang a lot, right? She sang Bouillon music. So Mikel was Kadas and she was Bouillon. And these people...
The only thing I felt when these things happen, after, you should have some press conference so that the entire world or all of us in Dominica should be when you go out there and represent. You should have some level of media.
Well, there was a level of media, but not after.
No, I'm talking about in Dominica. After the show, because I think Mikel went to London.
This show has been going on for some 40 plus years.
I know, but then Mikel actually went, I think, to London after. I believe that when our artists go out and excel on big stages,
and then they represent Dominica.
And represent Dominica the same way the athletes do, For instance, the Tia Lafons, we just heard that too. And by the way, let's congratulate them. We just heard that Stefan, Pascal, and Denise Hamilton were just awarded sports ambassadors. So we're going to big them up in a very special way on Creole Heartbeat. I actually made a statement. I believe it's good, a good incentive.
I think you're right. They should, especially with Colin coming back, the band. You should have an interview with them.
Well, we have them scheduled. We have them scheduled, but
it's
Creole Heartbeat.
Not only Creole Heartbeat should do that.
Yes.
You have all the media personnel. It's a hell of an experience. For me, it was a tremendous experience. Will I go back? Not immediately, probably, but yes, because it's a beautiful show to attend.
Okay. Millions nous ni 5 minutes d'accord nous parler créole avant nous quitter là parce que c'est important pour nous parler créole parce que si nous ni un spécial projet là nous faire mon apprendre créole nous pour partager information là créole. Bon. Aïe. So comment tout bien festival là tout pour là déjà.
Et tout pour là avec mon content qui nous ça festival là qui célébrer 25 années ou avec ça. Malgré à cause de cette situation incident comme cyclone qui fait nous il était pour pli mais
il était Covid aussi
Covid avait mauvais temps qui fait nous Waterloo 3 nous supposé qu'à 28
normalement
non c'était pour 28 mais Parmi les qui ça y est, c'est 25, et ben nous avons célébré 25. Comme ça, on va espérer que nous ça.
Est-ce que vous même pas, oui, toujours pas, oui? Ou qu'il y a ce podium là,
On va espérer, on va espérer.
Hein?
On va espérer.
Nous, nous faire un semaine prochaine, là, qui vient, le festival là, quand il fait publicité promotion en Guadeloupe, Martinique, il a invité moi, pas de problème, à ambassadeur.
Moi, je vais inviter moi.
Eh bien, normalement, si, si Maou qui fait libre, nous qui organise un biti, nous pour en ligne là. Bonjour tout le monde, messieurs, mesdames, Creole Heartbeat, Paul Sasse Creole, bonjour.
Bonjour, c'est moi encore.
Ouais.
Vraiment, c'est ça. Ça, il y a des périodes qui disent, les docteurs dégagement contre l'autre pays. Les ovnis, c'est pour un report, ça, tout dit.
Ouais, faire une conférence de presse. Conférence de presse.
Moi-même, pas ça.
Ouais.
C'est pour nous savoir ça qui fait aider nous en l'autre pays.
Ouais, d'accord.
Ok?
Merci.
Ça soit bon en meeting.
Merci un peu. Eh bien, ça, il a dit, c'est ça, nous sommes dit là, ces artistes-là, parce que nous connaissons quand c'est sport là, parce que nous connaissons tout le monde olympique, et puis, cricket, c'est bien là, ça, mais laissez les musiciens aller, c'est différent à côté, c'est un gros pour eux, mais comme vous dit là, combien de millions de monde qui regardent ça, et étrangers, Europe, ça c'est place qui grand même, et en petit pays comme Dominique, nous avons des styles musique, et c'est des styles musique à ce podium là, c'est un grand habité pour nous, c'est pour nous, et puis, ti mamay et ti jeune moun qui les jouer musique, yo savent ça, pour yo dire que ça, yon si joue là ça. Moi qui a support, moi qui a les Belgique.
Oui.
Eh ben, ça, c'est comme ça, bité la ka marché, frère. Mais nous cassé, oui, c'est bité là ça, mais nous n'y avons rendez-vous avec Michael, et aussi Kalen XP, nous n'y, et puis WCK, WCK, tout ça, parce que ça, nous avons fait, c'est artiste là, qui a sous festival là nous avons interview nous baisser nous bâti fondation déjà et puis Gordon Anderson et puis tous ces différents monde qui étaient fait festival là début festival là mais à présent nous avons un genre d'artistes là pour faire ça faisait bon la découvrir il y a des gens qui tapent l'honneur Caribbean Awards business tout ça c'est là ça nous avons fait mon découvert et ben quand nous ne pouvons pas parce que nous ne pouvons pas partir là nous avons fait Brim dernier mot Brim nous avons dit ça Creole Brim.
Anyhow, it doesn't matter. It's I mean, I want to say thank you to you.
Merci Apil.
What you have done, it's I mean, it goes a long way.
Pourquoi jamais trouvé l'honneur meritorious qui choye ou pourquoi jamais trouvé ça Borim?
Massive.
Parce que tout le monde, tout le monde a Signman qui sponsor. Signman qui sponsor. Ça y est, ce jour-là, c'est pour mettre un lumière sur, man.
Non, c'est pas travail moi.
Ouais, si on tape, on tape.
Si
mais pour qu'à faire bitaire,
c'est pas un problème pour moi.
Ouais, d'accord.
C'est pas un problème parce que moi jamais fait quelque chose, n'importe chose pour mettre non moins de là.
Ouais.
C'est pas problème. C'est ça maman m'a dit moi longtemps. Si vous voulez aider un monde, aider monde là, c'est pas un problème.
Ouais.
OK, so pour moi c'est pas grave.
Eh bien, moi, je félicite à ce émission là, Creole Heartbeat, pour le travail là, qu'on a fait. Et yon ce jour là, ça, nous avons continué pour aider, nous avons eu l'honneur, nous avons là, Windsor Park Stadium, nous avons eu marché. Puis, Meritorious Service Award, man. Nous avons la business without a side is a side of no business. Eh bien, nous avons fait, nous faire une nouvelle publicité, parce que anyone who wants signs in Creole, allez check, monsieur, mesdames, sign, man, nous avons dit ça.
Oui, mais
on fait ça aussi.
Ok, dernier mot,
nous encourager à mon encore ça qui est un business, ça qui est intéressé pour apprendre le langage créole. Encore nous avons une invitation pour ça joindre nous quand nous avons présenté à classe à créole qui dure 6 semaines entre le 16 mois septembre pour les 23 mois septembre. Registration c'est $300. Et bien fini dernier jour pour ça registrer c'est le 11 mois septembre, ça c'est jeudi prochain s'il est. Et bien ça qui est à ce numéro ça là pour ça registrer ça c'est 616 616 3457 eh ben 317 300 eh ben 3 7 0395 ou ça email creoleheartbeat@gmail.com. Et bien, vous avez visité l'office là, Creole Heartbeat upstairs là, la Jazz Teye avant. Comme ça, je regarde pour moi, ils ont toutes en classe, les 16 à mois septembre.
Merci un peu le milliard parce que nous passer mon petit week-end là, c'est week-end.
Ah oui, c'est
Thank God it's Friday.
Oh, oui, moi je comprends, c'est vendredi.
Thank God it's Friday. Ou j'ai connaître milliard. Et bien, quand souhaiter ou bon aussi tout le monde qui a écouté nous, nous a souhaité vous aurez passé un bon petit week-end là. Donc, remercier management QFM, Q95 FM pour toujours là avec nous et puis toujours casser pour toute bité qui local, toute bité qui culturelle. Merci un peu le Mr. G et puis nous a souhaité vous passer un bon petit week-end avec Madame O, mon frère. Eh bien, tiens, faut pas là, messieurs, mesdames, ça c'est notre émission de Creole Heartbeat. Nous avons encore vendredi, mais peut-être Franklin Peter Moses, the legendary one, nous avons là, messieurs, mesdames, jusqu'à une autre fois, messieurs, nous c'est Wadix Chebe faut pas là, merci un peu tout le monde, Chebe faut bon week-end à tous.
La temo que vale bien no nunca consigue